olemme täällä tällä kertaa Ashkelonin kaupungissa. Ja tässä mun vierelläni on ystäväni Roger. Hän on USAsta ja Mordechaita. Ja olimme juuri erittäin koskettavassa tilanteessa, jossa jaoimme vanhuksille ja myöskin niille, jotka oli menettänyt kotiinsa tämän sodan aikana, niin jaoimme heille avustusta. Ja mä haluan nyt kysyä Rogerilta muutamia kysymyksiä ja myöskin Mordechailta. Ja he tekevät hyvin mielenkiintoista työtä täällä. Ja olen tuntenut Rogerin jo noin 5 vuotta. Okay, Roger, where are you from actually?
I'm from Kentucky in America.
Okay. And how long have you been here in Israel?
Well, I came in 2014 of December, and I've been there over 9 years.
Okay, wow, yeah, that's great. And I want to ask you, because I have heard that you have done many things in your life with your wife, Rebecca. You've been to Romania in the children's home. You've been to Thailand to help homeless women. What has made you to leave your beautiful home in Kentucky and the horses? I understood you have horse farm, and come to Romania, come to Israel, come to Africa to help?
Well, that's a good question. And I love my children. I have 6 sons and 20 grandchildren. So we have all the reason in the world to stay on my farm, my horse farm in Kentucky. I was a school principal. But God called me to reach the nations. He called me to serve. And at the time he called me, I was a young principal. And so I began to take my students to these various countries. Like if there's an earthquake in Haiti, I would take students and adults. And we would bring aid, and we would help build churches and clean up debris from the earthquake. And I did that now for over 30 years. Well, it was a calling in my heart. It was a calling of missions that God instructed me go and raise up disciples. And so I've taken about 2,000 young people on these trips. And so many of those are now pastors and missionaries and evangelists and teachers. And that's what blesses me so much, to see that many of them say, where did this all begin? On a mission trip when we came and helped and blessed nations. And so that's what happened. And so it was a combination of school principal and missions worker.
So it was a Christian school?
It was a Christian school, correct. And those students are now, they come to me, and they're so grateful for this experience of missions, foreign missions. And when you bless, it says, when you've done it to the least of these, my brethren, you've done it to me. One of my strongest leaders, heroines, was Mother Teresa. What did she do? She had a comfortable position like me in education. And what did she do? She left that field to go into the streets to work with the lepers, those who were dying and left with an undignified death. And I thought, oh my, that is remarkable. Why can't I do that as well? Yeah. So.
Okay, what about Israel? Is that something special to you?
It is very special. For years, I had been a supporter of Israel, but from a distance. I'd gone to Washington, D.C. to meet with top leaders every year for 5 years to encourage them to support Israel in legislation. But I never thought I would live here. But I was flying on an airplane, and the Lord spoke very clearly during prayer, move to Israel and serve. And I was stunned. I thought, Lord, I had never planned to do that, but my pastor had a dream that I would be pastoring in Israel. And I thought, wow, I'm not going to do that. I have children and grandchildren and a farm and horses to keep. And then when I was on this plane a year later, after my pastor had this dream, the Lord called me. And I knew it was his voice. It wasn't out loud. It was in the heart. Come serve. And so I began to sell things that I had, like a 64 Corvette convertible, a very valuable car, and rings and saddles and, valuables. And I got an accumulation of $50,000 US. I thought that will keep me in Israel for 2 years, maybe 3.
Okay.
And it did. But people started sending money to bless. And so it's instead of 3 years, it's been almost 10.
Yeah.
So, but it was a calling of God.
Yeah, that's wonderful. So Israel to you is a special country out of all the countries.
Oh my.
Why?
It is because even from a young person, I revered the Jews, and I even wrote a rabbi when I was 25 because I wasn't taught this in a church. I would read the Bible, and it's clear those that bless Israel will be blessed from Abraham. And so I wrote a rabbi, and I said, how can I bless Israel? And the rabbi sent me a list, and one of the ways was to plant, this was back in the 70s, to plant trees. Mm-hmm. And do you know what? Our school planted 806 trees.
Oh my goodness.
In Israel. And now those little trees would be, big.
Yeah.
This is 40 years later.
Oh,
and so that was how I just knew in my heart, you have to bless Israel.
That's amazing. Okei, nyt mä kysyn Mordechailta muutaman kysymyksen. Mordechai, where are you from?
I am from the center of the country near Tel Aviv.
Okay.
I was born in a village. My parents came from Romania.
Okay.
They are Holocaust survivors. So I moved to work with public people to help Holocaust survivors.
Okay.
God is guiding us. When he sent Roger to meet me 4 years ago on the beach, I want to bless the Finnish people. It was a great move to participate to NATO because it's very dangerous to be beside the dictator of Russia. And I hope that one day all the world will be united in a peace, that everybody will be feeling that we can love each other, no matter which religion we are.
Thank you so much for both of you. And this is our greatest wish, really, that there will be peace one day on earth with the Prince of Peace.
Amen.
Of course. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.